There's a moment every gardener faces when standing over a lush pile of rich, dark compost and thinking, this stuff looks better than any soil I've ever bought. Why don't I just grow in this alone? It feels logical, even irresistible. But the truth is far more interesting, and understanding it can transform your gardening results for life. Let's dive into what really happens when you try to grow plants in pure compost, and how to use compost the right way to unlock explosive, healthy, long-term growth. Understanding what compost actually is. Compost is extraordinary, but it is not soil. It is a lightweight, highly nutritious organic amendment made from decomposed plant and kitchen waste. Its superpower is that it improves the soil you already have. Compost is full of microbes, humus and nutrients, yet it's missing the mineral structure and physical stability that roots need for long-term anchoring. This difference becomes the heart of our discussion about planting in compost alone. Why pure compost behaves differently from soil. Once compost reaches maturity, it's fluffy, loose and rich in nutrients, but pure compost tends to compact quickly and hold too much water or drain too fast depending on its composition. Without the sand, silt and clay particles found in real soil, compost cannot maintain a stable structure for root systems over time. Roots can suffocate after heavy watering or struggle to anchor in a medium that collapses as it breaks down. Another issue is nutrient unpredictability. While compost contains nutrients, they may not be in the balanced ratios that plants need. In pure compost, you often see strong early growth followed by sudden decline because the nutrients available at the beginning do not sustain the plant through its full growth cycle. The problem of compost shrinkage is, honestly, one of the biggest hidden issues gardeners never anticipate. Compost continues breaking down even after you've planted in it. As it decomposes, it shrinks dramatically. A pot filled to the top with compost early in the season might drop by several inches by midsummer. For container growers, this means exposed roots, loose root anchorage, and drying stress. For in-ground beds, the surface collapses and causes uneven water distribution. Plants need long-term stability, and pure compost simply cannot offer it. Moisture imbalance and root stress. Well, pure compost is a moisture wildcard. Some composts are dense and spongy, holding too much water and starving roots of oxygen. Others are woody, draining too fast and leaving plants thirsty. Plants need a balanced medium that simultaneously holds moisture and drains excess water. Compost alone usually leans too far in one direction or the other. These moisture inconsistencies are among the main reasons why plants grown in pure compost often appear healthy at first, but then, well, they decline rapidly once root systems expand. Nutrient imbalance and root burn. Because compost contains high levels of nitrogen in early stages, tender young seedlings often suffer from what's called nutrient burn when planted straight into pure compost. Their roots are sensitive, and a nitrogen-rich environment just overwhelms them. Even mature plants struggle when compost releases nutrients faster than plants can use them. This nutrient spike is, followed by a nutrient crash later in the season, leaving the plant starved and stressed. When you can grow successfully in pure compost, well, there are some exceptions, but with clear boundaries. Fast-growing, shallow-rooted plants like lettuces, leafy greens and herbs can sometimes thrive in pure compost because, they don't really need long-term rooting stability. Short-season crops don't stay in the compost long enough for any significant shrinkage or structural collapse to occur. Mushrooms also grow beautifully in compost-based substrates, but they do not anchor or feed the way plants do. For anything perennial, fruiting, woody, or long-season, pure compost is, honestly, never recommended. So, the right way to use compost for growing is to, well, think of it as a powerful amendment, rather than just a growing medium. Mixing compost with soil, creates a balanced environment with both structure and nutrition. A really effective blend for raised beds or container gardening is 1 part compost, 1 part topsoil, and 1 part coarse material like perlite, coarse sand, or even fine wood chips. This kind of mix creates an airy, well-structured, nutrient-rich medium that resists compaction. drains well and honestly supports strong root development. If you're making a compost tea to give your plants a boost without risking burn, here's the safest and most effective formula. Use 1 cup of mature compost in 4 liters of clean water. It's simple, but, it really works wonders. Stir vigorously, let it sit for 12 to 18 hours, then strain. Apply directly to soil, never on dry roots. This gives plants a gentle push without overwhelming them. Top dressing and side dressing for strong growth. Using compost as a top layer around plants is one of the most effective uses of all. A 1 to 2 inch layer spread around growing plants slowly feeds them, improves the soil beneath, and maintains moisture. Compost in this form never burns roots and acts as a protective blanket. Side dressing fruiting plants with compost mid-season also replenishes nutrients precisely when they need it most, ensuring stronger harvests and continuous production. Why the best gardeners treat compost as a partner, not a medium. The goal of gardening isn't just to keep plants alive, it's to create a thriving soil ecosystem that, feeds plants naturally. Compost helps you build that ecosystem, but it really cannot replace the soil itself. Soil is a living matrix of minerals, organic matter, microbes, and structure. Compost is the fuel that powers it. When you blend the two, you get a growing environment that is resilient, fertile, and capable of supporting plants for years. Pure compost gives you a sprint. Compost mixed with soil gives you a marathon. For long-term growth, soil always wins. Final thoughts for fellow master gardeners. So, can you grow in only compost? Yes, briefly, and, only with certain plants. But should you? Not if you want strong, healthy, productive plants that last. Compost is a powerhouse tool, but its greatest power comes when you use it to enhance soil, not replace it.